So today we will start the paper 3 May, June 2022. The first question says, find in terms of A, the set of values of X satisfying the inequality. It is the modulus inequality. And we have studied the property that if mod of A is less than mod of B, then if you take square on both sides, then you skip the mod. So we will apply this property here in our question. So if you take on both sides, so 2 mod of 3x plus a whole square less than 2x plus 3a whole square. So it's mean if you took square on both sides, you can ignore the mod. So open it now. 4 times 9x square plus a square plus 6xa less than 4x square plus 9a square plus 12xa. Now 36x square plus 4a square plus 24xa less than 4x square plus 9a square plus 12xa. Now bring all the terms on the left side. So this will be 32x square 24xa minus 12xa. So this will be plus 12xa, and then 4a square minus 9a square. This will be negative 5a square less than 0. Now you'll apply the quadratic formula to find the values for x in terms of a. So the quadratic formula for this is so now apply the quadratic formula on this. So x is equals to minus b. Now our b is 12a plus minus b square, 12a square minus 4 times a into c whole divided by 2a, 2 times 32. So when you will solve, this will become minus 12a plus minus 144a square plus 32 times 4 times 5. This will be 640 a square divided by 64. 32 times 2 is 64. So next 144 plus 640 is 784 a square divided by 64. So is equal to minus 12a plus minus 784 is actually square root of 784. That is 28. So 28, and here you can see a square. Here you can see a square. So it's mean this will become just a divided by 64. So now you will split it. Minus 12a plus 28a divided by 64 and minus 12a minus 28a divided by 64. So the first value is 28 over 64. This will be just a over 4. You can use the calculator. And the second value is negative 12 minus 28 divided by 64. Finally 64, this will give you minus 5 over 8a. Now these are the values of x in terms of a. If you look at the question, a is positive. So a is any positive number. So there is another concept we have studied while solving the quadratic inequality. or any inequality, you always take the test points. Okay, so now we are going to take the test points. So now in order to take the test point, you will actually draw these values of x. And as a is negative, sorry, a is positive, so this whole value will be negative because it has negative with this, and a over 4 will be positive. So when I will plot this value on the real line, I will mark 5 over 8 a first and then a over 4. So now we can check x is equal to 0 because it lies between negative and positive. So when I will put x is equal to 0, I will actually put in the last inequality. Okay, I will put in this inequality. So when I will put 0 here in place of x, this will become 0. This will also become 0, and we will left with minus 5a square. So minus 5a square less than 0. Okay, so as a is positive, so it means that this statement is true because a is positive, then its square is positive, then 5 times of that value is positive. So if you multiply it with negative, the answer will be negative. So this means that this inequality is true. Okay, now you will test the other points. Now you can test x is equal to 1, and uh, the any value greater than like a by 4. The easiest way to do this, that whenever you are going to solve the quadratic inequality like we did, you can see here that this is a quadratic inequality, and whenever you need to use to solve the quadratic inequality, just check the middle interval. Okay, the mid part. If let's suppose if it's true, then the end parts will be false. Like in our question, the middle part was true, so I will mark t here, and obviously these two parts will be false. Okay, so the final answer which this question have will be minus 5 over 8 a less than x less than a over 4. Most of the students get confused in this question. For them, I would recommend you to just, as he was saying that a is positive. So for just your convenience, just take a any number positive. So you can say, let's suppose I can take a2. So this interval, the test point will become minus 5 over 4, because if a is 2, then this will be cancelled out with 8, and a over 4 will be 1 over 2. So now you can easily check that. You can check this point, that is x equal to 0, this point that is x equal to 1, this point that is x equals to some negative 3. Okay, so now you can put these points where, let me tell you, not in this equation. You will put these points here, 32x square plus 4a, sorry, 32x square plus 12xa. I'm talking about this equation. Okay, so now 12xa will become, for a is equal to 2, this will become 24x, and then negative, as a was 2, so square of that will be 4, so negative 20. So now you can check these points here in this inequality, and you will definitely get the same answer. The same answers mean the middle portion, the middle part will be true, and the remaining will be false. Okay, but do not go for that. Just look at our part. Like if you want to test this interval, just take any point between these two values, like I did, because I knew that a was positive, so this will be positive value and this will be negative value. So it means 0 lies between this. So I just checked 0, and then I concluded that if this portion is true, the other will be false. So this is the easy method to do this. Okay, so moving to the next part, moving to the next question. This is from trigonometry. Solve the equation cos theta minus 60 is equal to 3 sine 30. Whenever you have these type of equations, like if you have cos, let's suppose if you have cos theta minus 40, let's suppose, never ever open this, because We have studied that in many cases, when this angle is not 30, like let's suppose if theta is 30, 60, 90, and 45. When you will have these angles in this formula, then you will open it. Other than these angles, I would recommend you to please do not open the formula. But right now, in our question, we can see that there is cos theta minus 60. So the better way to do this is just to open the identity. Now cos theta minus 60 is cos theta, cos alpha into cos of 60 plus sine of theta into sine of 60 is equals to 3 sine of theta. Now cos theta will be as it is, and cos 60 is 1/2 plus sine theta as it is. Sine 60 is square root 3/2 is equals to 3 sine theta. Now you can bring this on the other side. So cos theta over 2 is equals to, I will take sine theta as common. So right side will become 3 minus 3 square root over 2. Okay. Now just take the LCM on the right hand side. So this will become sine theta times 6 minus square root 3 over 2. So we can cancel this 2 on both sides. And now you can make the tangent from this. So this will become, you can bring 6 minus square root 3 on the left side. And on the right side, you can make sine theta over cos theta. So you can see that this will become tangent of theta. So tangent of theta will be 1/6 minus square root of 3. So now, if I use the calculator, this will become 1 divided by 6 minus square root 3. We also set our calculator on degree because our domain is in degree. Okay. So this is 0.2343. So this is the value of tangent of theta. Now you can see that tangent of theta is positive, as 0.2343 is positive, and tangent of theta is positive in first quadrant and then third quadrant. Now the basic angle is for basic angle, you can take inverse of 0.2343. This will be shift tangent inverse of answer. You will have 13.1868 degree. Okay. Now this is the possible answer and this is the second possible answer. So the first will be theta is equals to 13.1868 degree. So I will write just 13.2 degree. And second angle will be theta is equals to 180 degree plus basic angle, as this angle is this angle is basic angle and these two angles are vertical, so they will be same. Okay. So this whole angle will become 180 plus basic angle. Okay. So 180 plus 13.1868 degree. So this will become 193.2 degree. So these are the final values of theta. Moving to the next question. Show that the equation, this can be written as a quadratic equation in X. So now it's a logarithmic equation. So now you will apply the properties for log. First of all, combine all the logs. So left side will become log of 2x plus 1 with base 3 minus 2 times log of x minus 1 with base 3. Right side will be 1. So now apply the property of power on second log. Bring this power 2 on in the power of log. So this will be x minus 1 whole square with power with base 3 is equal to 1. Now you have studied the property of log with division. This will be log of 2x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square is equal to 1. Now we have the relation. And the relation is, let's suppose if we have bx is equal to y, any exponents, b can be any number, x can be any number, and y can be any number. Now you can write this expression in the form of log as, you will write log, then you will put this number in the base of log, then you will write this number here in front of log, and is equal to x. Okay, so these two expressions have the same meanings. Okay, these two expressions have the same meanings. Now we have the logarithmic form. So in order to convert this in the exponent form, what I will do, I will write just 3 here, 3, and this 1 will be in the power of this 3. So 3 to the power 1 is equal to 2x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square. We have studied this method or this like property in another way. Okay, so you can apply that rule as well here. So just cross multiply them. 3x minus 1 square is equal to 2x plus 1. Open the square. So this will be x square plus 1 minus 2x is equal to 2x plus 1. 3x square minus 6x. Bring 2x on the other side. So this will become just minus 2x. Then plus 3 and bring also 1 on the left side. So this will be 0. 3x square minus 8x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. So I'm going to solve this quadratic equation using the direct technique from the calculator. 3, negative 8, 2. So the first value of log x is 2.38. Actually, the question was show that this equation can be written as a quadratic equation in x. Okay, we don't need to solve it further. So moving to the next part. Hence solve the equation log of this is equal to 1 plus 2 times log of 2y minus 1. If you compare both the equations, let me write these equations together. If you compare both these equations, you will find that these two expressions are not equal. Like here we have 4y minus 1, here we have 2x plus 1. And on the right side, here we have 2y minus 1, and there was x minus 1. So I need to find the relation between this expression with this expression, or I need to find the relation between x and y. There are multiple ways. The easiest way to just equate both the things, like 4y plus 1 is equal to 2x plus 1. I can equate both the things, and now I can find the value of x or the value of y. I can cancel 1 on both sides, and from this equation, I can find the value of x, and that will be 2y. So now, in order to check that whether this relation is true or false, you will also equate these two expressions, and when you will equate that, you will get 2y minus 1 is equal to x minus 1. Again, you will find x is equal to 2y. So when you have equated both the parts, like this part is equal to this one and 2y minus 1 is equal to x minus 1, you at the end have the same relation. So it means that x is equal to 2y is the relation between these two relations. Okay. Now he was saying that hence solve this equation. It's to solve the equation, it means you need to find the value of y, because it has y variable in this. Okay. So first of all, I will solve the previous equation, and the solution for this previous equation was here we have in the calculator. So let me that solution here. The first solution was 2.3874, and the second solution was 0.2792. Okay. When you will convert these solution to the y, because we need solution in y variables, what you will do, you can see here that y is half of x. So y will be half of these two values. So half of 2.3874 divided by 2, 1.1937, and 0.2792 divided by 2, you will have 0.1396. Okay, and this will become, the first will become y is equal to 1.19, we can write, and the second will be y is equal to 0.14 up to 2 decimal places. But out of these two values, now you look at the equation. If you put, let's suppose, 1.19 both in both the relation, and this will become 4 times 1.19 plus 1. So that value will be positive. So log of positive value is defined. So it's this part is okay. But when you will put this here in place of y, and you will have 1.19 minus 1. So this will be like 2 point, let's suppose, 8 minus 1. So this will be also positive. So this y is equal to 1.19 is acceptable for both the things. So this is the acceptable answer. But when you will try 0.14 in the first expression, this will be true, because inside the log, this will be a positive value for 0.14. But when you will try 0.14 on the right part, so this will be 0.14 minus 1. This will be 0.28 minus 1. So this will be some negative value. And log of negative value is not defined. So the only answer which we will have for this part is y is equal to 1.19 only. Okay. Moving to the question 4. The question 4 says the curve y is equal to e to the power negative 4x times tan x has two stationary points in the interval this. Obtain an expression for dy by dx and show that it can be written in the form of secant square x times a plus b sine 2x times e to the power minus 4x, where a and b are constants. So to take the derivative of this, we will apply the product rule. So the product rule says derivative of this is first function as it is and derivative of second plus second function as it is and then derivative of first function. Derivative of tan x is secant square x plus tan x plus, into derivative of e to the power negative 4x is minus 4 e to the power minus 4x. So just take e to the power minus 4x common, and you will have secant square x minus 4 tan x. Now we need to bring this type of answer. You can write secant square as 1 over cos square x minus 4 tan x can be written as sin x over cos x. So take LCM inside. Cos square x 1 minus 4 sin x into cos x. So this will be, I can bring 1 over cos square outside. So this will be just 1 minus 4 sin x cos x. Okay. So I can write it as e to the power minus 4x into secant square x into 1 minus. Now the formula for sine 2x was, we can write sine 2x is equal to 2 sin x cos of x. Okay, we can use this formula here. So for this, just break this 4 into 2 times 2 sine x cos x, and I can write finally 1 minus 2. This part is sine 2x. So this will be the final answer. He can ask that what are the values of A and what are the values of B. So values of A is 1 and value of B is minus 2. Okay. Moving to the next part, hence find the exact x coordinate of the two stationary points, and hence find the exact coordinates of the two stationary points. For stationary point, you will put this derivative equal to 0. So for stationary point, you can put this derivative is equal to 0. We can write here, this was the value for dy by dx. Now put dy by dx is equals to 0. You will have e to the power minus 4x times secant square x times 1 minus 2 sine 2x is equal to 0. Okay. You all know that e to the power any number can never be 0. Okay. So it means that this part is never 0. This can be 0. Okay. I'm not sure. So we can, let's suppose we can say that if secant square x is 0, and also 1 minus sine 2x can be 0. So let us try that secant x will be 0 if you take square root on both sides. So if I just write secant as 1 over cos, so you can see that if you multiply cos on the other side, this will become 1 is equal to 0. So this is not possible. So it means that secant square of x is also non-zero. Okay. Now from the last equation, you will have sine 2x is equals to 1 over 2. Now this is very, very easy. Just draw the xy plane. Okay. And write as sine is positive in first and second quadrant. And my basic angle will be sine inverse of 1 over 2. And our domain is 0 to pi by 2. Okay. So sine inverse of 1 over 2, if you use the calculator, this will give you pi by 6. Okay. So my first answer will be this, and my second answer will be this one. So first answer will be 2x is equals to basic angle. Why I wrote 2x? Because 2x was the angle in the sine 2x. Okay, you always write this angle. So sine 2x is equal to pi by 6. So this will give you x is equal to pi by 12. This is in the domain. Next, the next angle is this angle. Okay, so this angle will be 180, or I can write pi minus pi by 6, which is basic angle, because this is basic angle. Okay, so this will be 2x is equal to 5 pi by 6. X will be 5 pi by 12. And both the values are in the given domain. Okay. So we have x is equal to pi by 2 and x is equal to pi by 12 and x is equal to 5 pi by 12. Moving to the next question, that's question 5. The complex number 3 minus I is denoted by u. Show on an Argand diagram with origin O the points A, B, and C representing the complex numbers u, u steric minus u. Now, here we have u is equal to 3 minus I. Okay, this is a part of the question. Okay, but we have not that much place, so I'm writing on above. So u star will be 3 plus I. Okay, and u static minus u will be 3 plus I minus 3 minus I. Okay, just open the brackets and you will have 3 plus I minus 3 plus I. So this will be just 2I. Okay, and first will be written as 3 comma minus 1. U star will be written as 3 comma 1, and 2I will be written as 0 comma 2. Now he was saying that U was actually A, U star was actually B, 3 comma 1 is B, and U star minus U was actually C, that was 0 comma 2. State the type of quadrilateral formed by the points A, O, A, B, and C. Okay. Now, first of all, draw the X and Y coordinates. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3. This is real part of Z. This is imaginary part of Z. And on the left side, here we have -1, -2, and then -1, -2, -3. Okay. Now the A point is 3 comma -1, 3 on x-axis and -1 on y-axis. So A will be here, 3 comma -1. The B point is 3 comma 1. So 3 on x-axis and 1 on y-axis. So this will be here, 3 comma 1. The C point is on y-axis because it's 0 comma 2. So 0 comma 2 will be this point, 0 comma 2. Now the O point was 0 comma 0. State the type of quadrilateral formed by the points O, A, B, and C. For this, just join the points C to the B, and then B to the A, and then O with A, and then O with C as well. Now this is the quadrilateral. Okay. When you will see the gradients of, let's suppose, if you find the gradient of AB, okay, and the gradient of AB will be 1 minus 1, just like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 over 3 minus 3. This will be 2 over 0, that will be infinity. And we already know that the gradient infinity is actually the gradient for the y-axis, okay? Also the gradient for OC, the gradient for OC is actually y-axis, and the gradient of OC will be infinity. So it means OC is parallel to AB. Okay. So now if we try the gradient of CB, so gradient of CB will be 1 minus 2 divided by 3 minus 0. So this will be minus 1 by 3. And gradient of OA will be minus 1 over 3. So it means both the things are parallel, like CB is parallel to OA and AB is parallel to OC. So if opposite sides are parallel, that quadrilateral is known as the parallelogram. Okay. You can also say that this is a trapezium. Okay. So it's a parallelogram. In most of the questions from complex number, you will find the same answers. Okay. The diagram will be the parallelogram. Okay. But you always try to check the sides by finding the gradients for the sides. Okay. Now the B part is express U star over U in the form of X plus IY. U star was pair over u. This will be 3 plus I over 3 minus I. You will take the conjugate 3 plus I over 3 plus I. So in the denominator, this will be 3 square minus I square. The numerator will be 3a square plus b square plus 2ab. So the denominator will be 9 plus 1. 9 I square is minus 1. So 6i. So this will be 8 plus 6i divided by 10. So that will be 4 over 5 plus 3 over 5i. By considering the arguments of u star over u, or otherwise prove that tangent inverse of 3 over 4 is equal to 2 times tangent inverse of 1 over 3. As we have studied that argument of u steric over u is actually behaves like logarithm. So argument of this will become argument of u star minus argument of u. Okay, argument actually behaves like logarithm. So argument of u star over u will be argument of u star minus argument of u. Now I will put all the values here. So u star over u was 4 over 5 plus 3 over 5. So 4 over 5 plus 3 over 5i is equal to argument of u star, that was 3 plus I, because u star was 3 plus I, minus argument of u, that was 3 minus I. Before finding the arguments, you must know that in which quadrant your complex number lie. As 4 over 5 plus 3 over I plus 3 over 5i is first quadrant, so it has no issue. Just apply the formula y over x, okay, is equals to, now 3 plus I is also in the first quadrant, so apply the formula here, y divided by x. But when you will see that where 3 minus I lie, 3 minus I lies in the fourth quadrant. So the formula for the fourth quadrant is minus tangent inverse of y over x. Okay, you will ignore the signs. Now I can cancel this 5, so this will be tangent inverse of 3 over 4 is equal to tangent inverse of 1 over 3 minus plus tangent inverse of 1 over 3. So right side will be 2 times tangent inverse of 1 over 3, tangent inverse of 3 over 4. So this was the required result. Moving to the question 6. The parametric equations of a curve x is equal to 1 over cos t, y is equal to lean tangent of t, where t lies between 0 and pi by 2, show that dy by dx is equal to cos t divided by sine square t. Okay. From the parametric curve, when you need to find the derivative, we can write dy by dx as derivative of y with respect to t. T is actually the parameter involved. Okay. And the denominator will be dx over dt. Okay. Now I need to find dy over dt and dx over dt. So dy over dt is actually the derivative of ln of tangent t. So the derivative for ln of tangent t is 1 over tangent t into the derivative of in front of ln, whatever it has. So the derivative for tangent of t will be secant square of t. So this will be secant square t divided by tangent of t. Okay. Similarly, if you want to take derivative of x with respect to t, now x is 1 over cos t. So it means that first of all, I will write it as cos t with power -1. So just apply the power rule, minus cos t -1 into The derivative of cos t is minus sine t. Okay. So final answer will be sine t divided by cos square t. Okay. Minus into minus will be positive. So now just put these values above. So dy by dx is equals to dy by dt, that was secant square t divided by tangent of t, whole divided by dx over dt, that was sine t divided by cos square t. We can write this expression as secant square t divided by tangent of t into cos square t over sine t. As you know that secant square is also 1 over cos square t. Okay. So we can write first and then we will cancel it. These all are multiplying. I just wrote secant square as 1 over cos t square. So now I can cancel cos square t with cos square t. So this will be 1 over tangent of t into sine of t. If you look at the answer, we also require cos t in the answer. So it's so simple. Just write tangent of t as sine over cos t into sine of t. The cos t will come in the numerator. So this will become cos t over, there are 2 sines in the denominator. So the denominator will become sine square of t. So this was the required answer. Moving to the B part, find the equation of tangent to the curve at the point where y is equals to 0. If you put y is equal to 0, for finding the equation of tangent, what you actually need? You have 2 types of formulas or 2 types of ways to find equation of line. Okay, you can try any method. So if you can see that where y is equal to 0 is given and y is actually lane of tangent of t. Okay. Now lane of tangent of t is 0. This is the logarithmic form. Now apply the exponential form. Exponential form will be e to the power 0 is equal to tangent of t. Like bx is equal to y, then this will be log b y is equal to x. Okay. Now e to the power 0 is 1 is equal to tangent of t. Now just take the inverse. Inverse of 1 is equal to t. So t will be pi by 4 or 45 degrees. Okay. Now you can try. Now you can put t is equal to pi by 4 in the question. Like we need actually x and y both. Okay. But out of these 2 values, we have y is equal to 0 as it is given in the question. Now x was 1 over cos t. Okay. So we have t is equal to pi by 4. So just put here cos of t pi by 4, as cos of pi by 4 is actually, if you use the calculator, this will be, I think so, cos of 45 degrees. Square root 2 divided by 2. So the final answer will be 2 over square root 2. Okay. Now the point will become 2 over square root 2 comma 0. This is the point. Now we need m. M is actually dy by dx. And dy by dx was cos t over sine square t. Cos t over sine square t. And the value for t is equal to pi by 4. So cos of pi by 4 over sine of pi by 4, then it's square. We already know that cos pi by 4 will be square root 2 over 2, and sine pi by 4 is also square root 2 over 2, but this time it has square. So this will be square root 2 over 2 times 4 over 2. Okay, so I can cancel these values, and finally I will have the gradient square root of 2. Now we have the formula y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus y1 is actually 0 is equal to m, which is square root 2, into x minus 2 over square root 2. So this was the answer. Y is equal to, just multiplied square root 2 inside. So square root 2 times x minus this square root will be cancelled with this one. So the final will be y is equal to square root 2 x minus 2. So this will be the equation of tangent for y is equal to 0 for above curve. Okay. Moving to the next question, that is question 7. Let f of x is equal to this expression. Express f of x in the partial fraction. Now, we already have solved 2 papers of 2022, and we have the same question, the second or third type of partial fraction. Now, this is the third type. First of all, express this as a over x minus 2 plus bx plus c divided by 2x square plus 3. Now take the LCM. This will become x minus 2 into 2x square plus 3, 2x square plus 3, then cross multiply. A times 2x square plus 3 plus bx plus c into x minus 2. We can cancel out these two terms. So finally, we have 5x square plus 8x minus 3 is equal to a times 2x square plus 3 plus bx plus c into x minus 2. Call it equation 1 because it is the most important equation. Now, put x minus 2 is equal to 0 to get a value of x, that is 2. And now put this 2 in the above equation. You will have, this will become 20 plus 16 minus 3 is equal to, this will become 2 times 2 square, that will be 8. That will become 8 plus 3. I think we have 2x square minus 1 plus 1. This was 2x square plus 1. So this will become 11a. Okay. Plus this factor whole will become 0 because x is 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So all bracket will be, all part will be 0. So 20 plus 16 minus 3 will be just 36 minus 3 is equal to 11a. So a is equal to 33 over 11, that is just 3. Now comparing the coefficients will give us, if you compare the coefficient of x square, for this, first multiply the brackets, bx square minus 2bx plus cx minus 2. So if you compare the coefficient of x square, left side will be 5 is equals to, right side will be 2a plus b. Okay. And put the value of a here. 5 is equal to 2 times 3 will be 6 plus b. So b will be -1. When you will compare the coefficient of x, you will have 8 is equals to minus 2b plus c. Okay. And 8 is equals to, as b was -1, so this will become just 2 plus c, and c will be 8 minus 2, that is 6. So f of x will be is equals to a over x minus 2, and a is 3 over x minus 2 plus bx plus c, and b was -1 times x plus c, c was 6 over 2x square plus 3. So this will become 3 over x minus 2 plus 6 minus x over 2x square plus 3. Moving to the next part, hence obtain the expansion of f of x in ascending power of x up to and including the term in x square. This is the, for here we will use the formula for 1 plus x to the power n. Now we will use formula 1 plus x to the power n. That was 1 plus nx plus n times n minus 1 over 2 factorial x square plus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 divided by 3 factorial x cube, and then so on. f of x will be this part. Okay, now we will use this answer here. Now f of x is equal to 3 over x minus 2. First write it as 3 times x minus 2 to the power minus 1 plus 6 minus x into 2x square plus 3 to the power minus 1. Okay. Now take minus 2 common from inside from the first bracket. So this will be written as minus 2 with power minus 1 into 2 into 1 minus x over 2. Okay. This will become 1 minus x over 2 with power minus 1 plus 6 minus x. If you take 3 out common from the second bracket, this will become 3 with power minus 1, and inside will be 1 plus 2x square plus 3 with power minus 1. So now this will be written as 3 over minus 2 with power 1. Okay, and then 1 minus x over 2, and then x minus 1 over 2 whole power minus 1 plus 6 minus x. 3 to the power minus 1 is actually just 1 over 3 into 1 plus 2x square over 3 to the power minus 1. Now apply the above formula. This will give you minus 3 by 2, 1 plus n into x plus n into n minus 1 over 2 factorial into x square. Then you will put the bracket because we don't need powers greater than x square. Okay, we only need the powers up to x square. So ignore all the other terms. Next we have 6 minus x over 3 into 1 plus n x. Now here we have the power x square, so we will ignore all the other terms. So moving forward, we will have 1 plus x over 2. This will give us the next term, as we can cancel this 2 with this, and the sign will also be positive, and this will be x square over 4 plus 6 minus x over 3 into 1 minus 2x square over 3. Now you can multiply 3 by 2 inside, minus 3 by 2 minus 3x over 4 minus 3x square over 8 plus, take first of all LCM here on the right bracket. This will become 3 minus 2x square divided by 3. Okay, so minus 3 by 2 minus 3 by 4x minus 3 by 8x square then plus 1 over 9. Now multiply it again. 6 3s are 18 minus 12x square minus 3x, and then ignore this term. When x is multiplied with x square, ignore that term, okay? So we will have this as our final answer, okay? Next, if you write it again, multiply 1 over 9 inside, this will give you 2 minus 4 over 3x square minus x over 3. Now you will add all the similar terms. First, you will add the constant, okay? You will add minus 3 by 2 into to get 1 over 2, okay? So my answer is 1 over 2. Next, you will add all the terms involving x. You will add minus 3 by 4 and then minus x by 3. So this will give you minus 13 over 12x, okay? Finally, you will add minus 3 by 8x square minus 4 over 3x square. So this will be minus 41 over 24x square. So this was the final answer. Now moving to the question 8. At time t days after the start of observation, the number of insects in a population is n. The variation in the number of insects is modeled by a differential equation of the form where k is a constant and n is a continuous variable. It is given that when t is equal to 0, n is equal to 100. This is very important information. Solve the differential equation, obtaining a relation between n, k, and t. Write the differential equation first. The differential equation says dn over dt is equal to k times n to the power 3 over 2 into cos of 0.02t. Okay. First, bring the dt in the numerator and bring n to the power 3 by 2 on the left side. So this will be dn over n to the power 3 by 2 is equals to k times cos of 0.02 t into dt. Okay. Now you will write it as n to the power minus 3 by 2 into dn is equals to cos k times cos of 0.02 t dt. Now you will integrate both the sides. The integration for left side will be n to the power minus 3 by 2 plus 1. That will give you minus 1 over 2 divided by minus 1 over 2 is equals to integral for cos will be sine of 0.02 t divided by derivative of angle, that is just 0.02 plus some constant of integration. Now we can write it as minus 2 and bring them n to the power negative 1 over 2 down. This will become minus 2 over square root n is equal to, you can see that this is written as 1 over 0.02 into k into sine of 0.02 t plus constant of integration. Now put 1 over 0.02 in the calculator. You can see here that 1 over 0.02, this will become 50. So we can write here minus 2 over square root n is equal to 50 times k sine 0.02 t plus c. We can cancel this 2 with 50. So this will become minus 1 over square root n is equal to 25k sine 0.02 t plus constant of integration. Now apply the condition. The condition was t is equal to 0, when n is equal to 0, now put, sorry, n is equal to 100. Now put n 100, t 0, and n 100. Apply that condition. So 1 over square root 100 will be minus 1 over 10 is equal to 25k sine of t. If t is 0, so the angle inside sine will become 0, and sine 0 is 0. So this whole thing will be 0. So c will be minus 1 over 10. Put this value of c above. This will become minus 1 over square root n is equal to 25k sine of 0.02t minus 1 over 10. This is the final expression involving k, t, and n. Okay. Moving to the next part, given also that n is equal to 625 when t is equal to 50, find the value of k. To solve this part, we will copy the answer first. Now, as n is equal to 625, just put the value of n in this expression. So we will have 1 over 625 square root is equal to 25k sine of 0.02 into t, that is 50, times 50 minus 1 over 10. If you use the calculator and you multiply 0.02 with 50, you will just get 1, okay? You will get 1. So this is just, and square root of 625 is just 25, okay? So my answer will be minus 1 over 25 is equals to 25k sine of 1. Bring negative 1 over 10 on the left side. So this will be just 1 over 10. Okay. And now our k is subject. So 1 over 10 minus 1 over 25, 1 upon 10 minus 1 over 25. So this will be just 3 by 50 is equal to 25k sine of 1. So you can multiply 50 on the left side along with sine of 1. This is the value of k. Okay. So the value of k will be, first of all, we will change the angle unit to the radians. Now k will be 3 divided by sine of 1, close bracket, then times 25. 25 times 50. Press equal, and you will have k is equals to 0.00285. This is the value for k. Obtain an expression for n in terms of t and find the greatest value of n predicted by this model, and this question has only 2 marks. Okay. So we will copy this expression again, but this time we have the value of k as well. Okay. Now the value of k we have is 0.00285, and also obtain an expression for n in terms of t. Okay. So first of all, take right hand side LCM. So this will become 250k sine 0.02t minus 1 divided by 10. This 10 will come on the left side, and this will be 10, negative 10 over square root n is equal to 250k sine of 0.02t minus 1, and then reciprocal. both the things, both the sides actually. So when you will reciprocate it, this will be square root n over minus 10 is equal to 1 over 250. Actually, square root n was my subject. So this is actually a difficult question. So just bring this negative 10 on the other side. So this will be minus 10 over 250k. You can also short your steps, okay? So take square on both sides. So n will be 100 over 250k sine of 0.02 t minus 1. So with whole square. Now, in this package, we have k is equals to 0.00285. Okay, make sure that we have k. We have k given. Now we will need to find the value of n. That is greatest value of n. You can see here he is saying that greatest value of n predicted by this model. Now, this part needs some attention. You can see that n is depending upon only on the denominator, because in the numerator here we have 100. So all n depends upon on t, because k, the value of k is constant, it is 0.00285. So all dependability of n is on t. Okay. Now this whole thing will be greatest if this denominator thing will be smallest. Okay. When you divide something on the smallest thing, you will get the greatest answer. Is that right? Okay. As the numerator was constant, so to get the greatest answer, you will divide the 100 with the smallest thing. Okay. Now, if you look at the denominator, to make it smallest, let's suppose if I ask you that 6 minus 2 is smaller or 6 minus 4 is smaller, you will definitely say that, sir, 6 minus 4 is smaller, because the thing which is subtracted from 6 is greatest. So this is the smaller one. Okay. So when you will look at the denominator, now 1 is being subtracted from this to make this as the smallest value. Okay. You will actually subtract 1 from this. So coming back to this question, these type of questions mostly depend upon the denominator. Okay. Now, as we required, n must be the greatest. So if n is greatest, it means that its denominator is smallest. Okay. Its denominator is smallest. Denominator is this. So when we will put the value of k here, we will see that 250 times k, that was 0.00285, 0.00285. This will be 0.7125. So 0.7125 sine 0.02 t minus 1 whole square. It means these values must be smallest. So I will call S as smallest. So mostly these type of questions depend upon here on sine t and cos t, and the maximum values of sine t and cos t. Okay, these type of questions mostly depend upon maximum values of sine t or maximum values of the minimum value of sine t. So let's suppose if you see the minimum value of sine this thing, if the minimum value we see that is -1. Okay, But when you will put minus here, you will get minus 0.7125 minus 1. Then I will put square on this. So this will be minus 1.7125, then it's square. So you will find some bigger number. On the other hand, if you see the greatest value of sine 0.0t, that could be 1. So if we put 1 instead of minus 1, you will see this will become 0.7125 times 1 minus 1 whole square. So this will be negative 0.3, let's say 0 then square. Okay. So the answer for this value is actually the smaller as compared to this one. Okay. So it means that our target was to make the denominator as the smallest. Okay. But here we have the two choices. Either we can put sine 0.02 as 1 or sine 0.02 as minus 1. But when we have put 0.02 is equals to 1, the answer becomes this value, which is bigger than if we put if we put 1. If we put 1, so this will become smaller. But if we put minus 1, this will become larger. So it means that the preferable value of sine 0.02t is 1. Okay. So just put sine 0.02t is equal to 1 in this expression. You will find the greatest value of this n. That will be 0.7125 times maximum value of 0.02t, which is 1 minus whole square. So now it's very simple. 100 divided by 0.7125 minus 1, then square on that. This will be 1209, 1209.82. Let me see if we multiply 250 with 0.00285. Let me see the answer. So moving to the question 9. The answer was, I was actually checking the answer. The answer was 1209.82. So this is the correct answer. Okay. So moving to the question 9. With respect to the origin O, the point A has a position vector OA. The line L has the vector equation this. Find in degrees the acute angle between the directions of OA and line L. While doing the questions of vectors, always try to draw the 3D diagram. Okay. Now draw a line L. This is your line L. And let's suppose here you have the vector A. So this will become OA. This will become OA. This is your origin. So now you need this angle. Now one of them is a vector and the other one is a line. You cannot find a angle between a vector and a line directly. What you will do then, there is another directional vector which is parallel to line L, and that directional vector is this. This is known as directional vector, and I will call it D. So the angle between OA and the line L is the same as the angle between OA and its directional vector D. So these two question marks are actually the same. Now, as the directional vector, is directional vector for the line is minus I plus 2j plus 3k, and OA is the vector I plus 5j plus 6k. So to take now the answer is find the acute angle. Okay, the requirement is find the acute angle. So now take the dot product OA dot D is equal to magnitude of OA, then magnitude of D, then cos of angle between them. So let's say that this angle is theta. Okay, let's say that this angle is theta. So now OA is 156, D is minus 1, 2, 3 is equal to the magnitude of OA is 1 plus 25 plus 36, and the magnitude of D is 1 plus 4 plus 9 into cos of angle between them. So the left side will become minus 1 plus 5 2s are 10 plus 6 3s are 18 is equals to, now when you will put it in the bracket, this will become 36 plus 25 plus 1, this will be 62 into 14 cos of theta. So left side will become 28 minus 1, that is 27, and 62 times 62 times 14 will be, yes, square root 62 multiplied with square root of 14. This will be, okay, 217 times 2 is equal to cos of theta. So just go to the degree and then take inverse of 27. I'm using calculator in front of you students so that you can learn the better way to use the calculator. Okay, so theta will be 23.6 degree. Okay, find the position vector of the foot of the perpendicular from A to L. Now the foot of the perpendicular means, let me copy this diagram. Now foot of the perpendicular means, now we don't need this directional vector and this angle. Here we have the vector OA. Now draw a perpendicular from A to the line L. Okay. Now this is the foot of the perpendicular from A to L. Now you need actually the position vector for this. Let's suppose if I call it a point F, let's suppose foot of the perpendicular, then you will need to find OF. Okay. In the previous papers, we have learned that any point on the line can be written as line itself. So the line was, if you see, the line was 4 minus lambda, 1 plus 2 lambda, and then 3 lambda. So any point on the line can be written as line itself. So 4 minus lambda, 2 minus 2 lambda, and 1 plus 3 lambda. Okay. Now you will find this vector AF. Now AF will be OF minus OA. Now OF was 4 minus lambda, 2 lambda, 1 plus 3 lambda, minus OA was 1, 5, and 6. 1, 5, 6. This will give you 3 minus lambda, 2 lambda minus 5, 3 lambda minus 5. Okay. Now, if you see the diagram, this was a rough diagram, but it will help you a lot. Now, this vector is AF. Okay. If you see the diagram, you will see that this vector AF is actually perpendicular to line. If it is perpendicular to line, then it will definitely perpendicular to its directional vector as well. So the directional vector was D was equals to -1, 2, and 3. From where did I get this D? The D is actually the directional vector. -1, 2, 3. Okay. This was the D. So it's mean if they are perpendicular, then AF dot D will be 0. So it means 3 minus lambda, 2 lambda minus 5, 3 lambda minus 5, dot product with -1, 2, 3 will be 0. Okay. So the dot product will become -3 plus lambda plus 4 lambda minus 10 plus 9 lambda minus 15 is equals to 0. So this will become 914 lambda minus this will become -28 is equal to 0. So from this equation, lambda is equal to 2. So put this lambda above to get OF. So OF will be 4 minus lambda, 2 lambda, and 1 plus 3 lambda. Just put this value above, you will get 2, 4, and then 7. So this was the foot of the perpendicular for above. Now the C part says, hence find the position vector of the reflection of A in line L. This is actually a good question. So for this, we will again copy this diagram. Now we need, hence find the position vector of the reflection of A in L. So if you reflect this line L in L, this point A in L, you will find another point. Let's say here is the point A prime, and then you will join it with O. Now, let me tell you that OA prime position vector, this was actually the question mark now. Now, this is the question, okay? The easiest way is, now A prime, we can write it as OA prime is xi plus yj plus zk. We can let it as xi plus yj plus zk. Now, if you see this line, A, F, A prime, this line have 3 points on it, okay? And out of 3 points, 2 points are given. How? Because the OA is equals to 1, 5, 6. OF from the previous question, that was 2, 4, and 7. Now OA prime, that is actually my question, which will be x, y, z. Now you know the formula for midpoint, that OF is actually the midpoint of OA and OA prime. Okay, so just apply the midpoint formula. You will get 2, 4, 7 is equals to 1 plus x divided by 2. Okay, so 1 plus x divided by 2. Then next value 5 plus y divided by 2. And then the next value 6 plus z divided by 2. Now equate 1 by 1, x plus 1 over 2 is equal to 2. This will gives you x is equal to 3. Okay. Then equate the next value, 5 plus y over 2 is equal to 4. So this will gives you y is equal to 3. Then equate the next value, 6 plus z over 2 is equal to 7. So this will gives you z is equal to 8. So these are the values of x, y, and z. So OA prime will be 3, 3, and 8. So this is the reflection of A in the line L, and whose coordinates for whose position vector is 3, 3, and 8. Let's move to the next question. The last question of this paper is from the integration, and that is a well-known type of integration, which is integration by parts. Okay. The constant a is such that the integral from 1 to a x squared ln of x dx is 4. Show that a satisfies this type of relation. So first of all, we will solve this integration without the limits. Okay. So let me write this integral x square ln of x d of x. Okay. Now, as I told you that whenever you will see the ln x, you will take it as derivative or in the derivative, and other function will be considered in the integral. So now apply the by parts. You will write ln of x, then integral of x square dx minus the derivative of ln of x into integral of x square d of x, then whole bracket, then the differential. Square, you will find x cube over 3. So I will write here x cube over 3 minus the derivative of ln of x is actually 1 over x. The integral of x square is x cube over 3. And the outer differential is as it is. Next, x cube over 3 ln of x minus this will become 1 over 3. X cancel out with x cube. So inside will become x square. Now apply the integral on x square. This will become x cube over 3. Okay. So this will be x cube over 3 ln of x minus x cube over 9. This is the integration without limits. Okay. Now I will take the limits on both sides and equate the answer equals to 4. Now x cube over 3 ln of x minus x cube over 9 1 to a is equals to 4. Okay. Now put the limit a cube over 3 ln a minus a cube over 9 minus, if you put 1 in the above, you will get 1 cube over 3 into ln of 1, which is 0, minus 1 over 9 is equal to 4. Okay. So a cube over 3 ln of a minus a cube over 9 minus ln of 1 is 0. So this will become plus 1 over 9 is equal to 4. So a cube over 3 ln of a minus a cube over 9. Bring 1 over 9 on the other side. So 4 minus 1 over 9 is 35 over 9. So take a cube common. So inside will be ln of a minus 1 ln of this value. Now take the LCM. A cube 3, this will become 9. 3 ln a minus 1 is equal to 35 over 9. Cancel out these 2 9 and you will get, where we can write, you will get a cube is equal to 35 over 3 ln of a minus 1. If you see the answer which we need to bring, you can also apply the reverse engineering on this. So if you apply a cube, this will become 35 over 3 ln a minus 1. So it means that we are at this step and we need to go to this step. So what we will do, we will take the cube root on both sides. Okay. We will just take the cube root on both sides. So a will become 35 over 3 ln of a minus 1 whole power 1 by 3. So this was the required result. It is verified by calculation that a lies between 2.4 and 2.8. These type of questions we have done. G, we can equate G is equals to a minus 35 3 ln of a minus 1 whole power 1 by 3. Okay. Now put 2.4 in this and then 2.8. So 2.4 minus bracket fraction 35 divided by 3 ln of 2.4 bracket close minus 1 whole bracket power 1 divided by 3. This will be negative 0.38. If you will put 2.8 instead of 2.4, this will gives you 0.24. So it's means first value is negative and second value is positive. If signs are changing, it means that A lies between these two values. Okay, so now A lies between 2.4 and 2.8. Now the next part is use an iterative formula based on the equation in part A to determine A correct to 2 decimal places. Give the result of each iteration to 4 decimal places. Now, first of all, we will set the iterative formula. Now, as A was 35 over 3 ln of A minus 1 whole power 1 over 3. So we will first of all set the iterations. On the left side, we will put n plus 1 in the base of A, and on the right side, I will put n in the base of A. So just put n is equal to 0 in this. Also take the initial guess as the average of these 2 points. So 2.4 plus 2.8 over 2. This will be 2.6. Okay. So if we put n is equal to 0 in this, this will become A1 is equal to 35 over 3 ln of A naught minus 1 whole power 1 over 3. So this will gives you, if you use the calculator, this will gives you bracket fraction 35 divided by 3 ln of 2.6 minus 1 bracket close power 1 upon 3. So the first answer up to 4 decimal places will be 2.6567. Then before pressing the equal sign, we will first change 2.6 with the answer and then press the equal sign. A2 will become 2.6267. Then A3 will be press again equal. A3 will be 2.6423. A4 will be press again equal sign 2.6341. Press again equal, you will get A5 is equal to 2.6384. And when you will press again equal, you will get A6 is equal to 2.6362. Okay. So up to 2 decimal places, if you see that up to 2 decimal places, these values will become 2.64. So this will be the final answer. So this was the end of paper 3, variant 3.3, May, June 2022.